Hello traders, we're going to look at the NQ this evening. Here is our stop area. There's a 4 o'clock close, and we're going to go back to the 9:30 open here. This is January 30th, 2012. We're going to look at where our signals lie. Officially, this was our first signal right here. I'm not much for buying something right before it looks like it wants to fall through support. So take those trades at your own risk there. I always like to buy on lower lows, and both of these trades meet our trade rules and guidelines. We've got the purple RSI under the 10 bar here, and we've got a green RSI coming back in to pierce both the 10 bar as well. So, and we're getting our signal, and we're getting a blue bar as well. Gonna look at this signal in here. Although we have some interest in some of these bottom areas, our first crossover here is down in here, and we get a yellow bar signal. Some traders may have waited on seeing that blue bar paint. That would be fine too. Let me move through here. I wanted to go over this trade here as well. It's not an official entry, but I wanted you to see how it stands out. You've got just gray bars painting here, and you never really got down in here. Must have been such an urge at 9:30 for people to get in on the first trend of the day, that sort of thing. But what I wanted you to see is that at a lot of these moves, yellow is a heads-up color for sure in the NQ. It's almost one of our better charts to trade. It's just a very clean chart for using our signals, and some of you may or may not trade the NQ. Doesn't move as fast as the YM, but that's a good thing. It can help you slow down, take a little bit more time to make decisions if you'd like. But yeah, overall it does have a cleaner set of entries, more exacting. Let me go back here again. I mean, there's nothing to do here while these bars are painting gray. You can see there's not much confusion here. That's the nice thing. Whereas, you know, the ES with all the computer trading and that sort of thing, it puts in a lot of signals that can be confusing for a beginner trader. Interesting as well is what we're trying to do is meet this longer trend, downtrend, with some smaller forces down into those same areas. So what you're getting are, you can see here, this kind of situation where, oh, we must be bottoming, right? And this would be a good place to get in. You can see how it takes one more rip down to make sure that everybody in this area is taken out. So that's what you have to watch for in most of the charts. There's always a takeout move, and it creates the situation for the average trader that, wow, that was such a forceful move, I don't really want to get in on something like that, because who knows, the next one might be even another big forceful move down, where that's just the opposite. The forceful moves a lot of times are the ones that it's the last gasp for air, and then it's the other direction. So where something like this, it keeps you thinking that well, maybe we're looking for you might have had a few traders that put their bids in here for picking something up just below the lows. Well, it went way below that to scare a lot of people out, and we're only talking this is only 1 point from this area to here, so we're looking at close to 2 whole points on the NQ. So I'll go through here. This is a pullback move. What we're doing is looking for 2 lower lows. So from a high, and this is real sneaky. They didn't want to let too many people in on the next run, because that's a quite a powerful move right there. But you've got your signals here, and you've got a pullback to the 10, and that's an entry, and you've got another pullback in here, and that's an entry. So all you're simply doing is waiting for those. Pick a few charts on our webinar and try to go with them. And not many people can trade 3 or 4 or 5 of those charts at the same time. They're all, while oil is going down, the markets, the ES or the YM and NQ are going up. So it can be confusing at times and test you, but most people have their favorite charts, and you might want to look at the NQ. The NQ is pretty nice chart. So sorry, that's another day. So again, here's the 2 pullback entries we were talking about, right here and here. This, what you should be expecting here, this right, this is not a double top here, and this is the high. This is almost a double top. So what you should be expecting right in here is that at some point price is going to go lower, which is, whether it's here and straight on down, it happens to be a little bounce and then a pullback, little fake up, pullback, and then they're good to go. So that's what this is. Here's your A, B, and C pattern with a little extra thrown in. And we're pretty close to a entry there, right here. So you have to decide. You're outside the Keltner channel, and you're getting yellow and blue bars. So is that something you want to take? So finally in here, it meets the 10, albeit a little late. Which that's how this purple RSI works. It's going to give you entries eventually here, but that's the key to it. It's always trying to help you. See, at this point you're seeing divergence here. So being a longer trend RSI, you do have a choice of saying, well, do I want to Do I want to wait for that exact entry into the tens? All I'm saying is it is our rules. So we won't be marking anything that isn't our rule. So once this hits, we get a bounce, and the pullback is an entry as long as this green bar comes back into play. And of course you have some divergence here. But you can see how this was an entry. This was such a strong move that we didn't even get a yellow bar. We have a gap as well. Let's move through here. This is probably a cleaner pullback move. This long run up and only this little pullback, yeah, you're almost wanting more of a pullback and more time spent up here. Like anywhere, you know, if you would have had some more time and a pullback down into here, that would have made more sense. You know, kind of look at it as 2 steps forward and then 1 step backwards, and kind of split the time difference. So you want kind of the same amount of time in this area. This is not something that would make me feel comfortable here. Not enough time has gone by for that move, so you don't know how much you're going to get off of it if we had been in a good position for a pullback. You've got some interest here. I'll zoom in there and look at that. Do have some interest, and you have, once you get into a blue bar, that's a decision you could make whether you'd want to go with any of that. But here's the next signal here that we have marked. Once we cross in here, so right in here we're crossing. So we know we're in this range. There's on a number of charts we have, there's always plenty of moves that stop just short. Here's an example here. You've got a move here that stopped somewhat short, and so it doesn't mean that, you know, price is always going to be bouncing here. It just means it's the safer entry when you can get this purple RSI back into the tens. See, whereas this one wasn't. You've got, you know, you do have a bounce here, but we have a lower low coming up. So A, B, C. So once we break into the tens, you can start on the purple RSI, you can start looking for signals and try to look for signals on lower lows. Okay, so once we have a break here, the green RSI is not in a perfect position. See, this signal is not marked. This signal is not marked because we're not thoroughly in there yet. Doesn't mean you can't take a trade like that. Just expect a possible lower low. It's very rare that you get this setup and it would continue up from here. It's going to want to break this bottom to complete an ABC pattern. Alright, so in these areas here, so you can see we're getting very close to breaking in and breaking the 10, but quarter to 4 here, you know, strange things happen. We don't always get that move down into there, but you've got a pullback here that pierced the 10, nice move down, and you know that yellow bar is confirmation. Okay, so we're going to look at this real slow again. I'm going to start at the beginning of the day. So here are our first trades of the day. No other signals except pullback signals. This is one here. Pull back into the 10s. Couple foolers in here if you're just looking for pullbacks. So we were trying to complete that ABC pattern. You definitely want to try to go in on lower lows. We've got that one and this one. And that's the end of the day. Join us on our daily webinars and start watching the NQ. As I said, it's a pretty clean chart.